Crisis in the classroom tonight. The clock is ticking down for bills to make their way through the state legislature.
Yeah, 2 of those bills would impact our schools and, of course, students. And if they fail, some worry there could be a legislative standoff. News 3's Crisis in the Classroom reporter Tiffany Lane joining us now to explain.
Yeah, just last week, Governor Lombardo's office confirmed to News 3 that if his priorities are not met, he could veto the budget and call a special session. A source in his office tells us the main priorities include education and school safety. Now, right now, one of the bills that has not advanced is his bill on school choice. That's Assembly Bill 400, and it's leaving advocates frustrated.
Our schools are not safe. We have to be worrying about gangs, bullying, and the violence, instead of having to be worried about having a happy childhood.
Valeria Gurr is a school choice advocate. She also leads the American Federation for Children, a nonprofit that looks to provide families with access to school choice across the country. Monday, the AFC released this ad to Spanish-speaking stations to get a message to lawmakers.
Nuestros hijos, en vez de preocuparse solo por sus calificaciones.
Instead of better grades, our kids worry about gangs, bullying, and shootings. It's time they had options, the video says. But Nevada's Democrat leaders are standing in the way. Luckily, Governor Lombardo has a plan that allows parents to send their child to a school of their choice. Right now, Governor Joe Lombardo's school choice bill, Assembly Bill 400, is not receiving the movement those like Gurr are hoping for.
What I see is that the Hispanic community continues to be suffering the most because they don't provide quality education to our kids. And if you look at the Nevada report card, you're seeing that all kids at all grade level, but particularly Hispanics and African American, are fairly behind a lot more than their white counterparts.
AB 400 would expand opportunity scholarships that qualifying students can use towards a private school of their choice. The bill would increase accessibility to families of 4 that make $150,000 or less. Right now, it's just $89,000. The principal of a local private school says it's a step in the right direction.
We have over 100 students that travel 30 miles each way to school. That means parents and families are making a very serious choice that this is the school that they choose.
Principal Rabbi Mendy Levine says a third of his students receive opportunity scholarships.
An average student is getting about $5,000, okay, a little bit more than $5,000. Tuition in this school is about $13,000. That means our school, myself included, are fundraising hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just to make sure that these kids get an education.
AB 400 would also create an Office of School Choice within the Nevada Department of Education. The bill would allow charter schools to apply for public money to bus children to their campuses. But some are hesitant to support the bill, including elementary school teacher Vicki Kreidel, who says there's already school choice.
Nevada can't afford it. We cannot afford to have money taking from our education fund because we're 48th as it is. We're already really low.
She believes classrooms will take a hit.
I came here in 2013. There was no teacher laptop, no curriculum, and not one student book of any kind in my classroom. Until we can take care of our public schools, we should not be pulling any of the funding to go to anyone else.
Only one hospital in the Valley gets an A for safety. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Latoya Silman.
And I'm Dana Wagner. New rankings released this month show most of our hospitals still need to improve on safety.
Yeah, Kristen Drummond now joins us in studio with a breakdown of this report and what this all means for healthcare here in Southern Nevada.
Well, Dana and Latoya, this is the report card. It is from the Leapfrog Group, and it's an independent national watchdog organization that grades the safety of general hospitals around the country twice a year. As you can see here, Henderson Hospital receiving the only A, and that A is now consecutive for 10 years in a row, but all the other medical facilities getting a B or a C. Now, one of those places getting a B is UMC. They actually improved. That's a bump up from their C grade all last year and past D's in 2020. Falling hard, though, on this list is Summerlin Hospital. They got a grade of a C. Now, that's a drop from an A during the fall last year when they are typically averaging a B. Now, the Leapfrog Group considers various factors when it comes to these grades. That includes infections, problems with surgery, and practices to prevent errors like hand washing or communicating about discharge. Even though hospitals did not receive a D or an F here in the Valley, health leaders say more needs to happen.
I think that, in the Valley, we have a lot to do. We have to make our hospitals safer. We have to improve our quality of care. Again, I'm encouraged that hospitals are getting better in this national rankings, but we still have a little ways to go.
Leapfrog reports patient safety deteriorating on a national level because of the pandemic. And coming up at News 3 Live at 6, more on Valley Hospital's ranking and how it performs when communicating about discharge. Definitely a big concern since the patient was abandoned on the sidewalk last year, which is a report we continue to follow.
News 3 has received several emails from employees of a local nonprofit who say their paychecks bounce.
And there's something you can learn here. Unfortunately, News 3's Kay Munch has learned this is not the first time it's happened to these nurses. And Kay, you've learned that the company behind it is being investigated.
Yeah, that's right, by the Labor Commission. And they tell me since December, they've received 26 complaints related to unpaid wages against Foundation for Positively Kids. And I talked to several employees today who tell me that although they just started reporting this to officials, it's been ongoing for years.
Last Friday should have been a payday for the Foundation for Positive Kids. However, several employees, including Amy Kim, say their checks bounced.
Our paychecks would occasionally bounce, and we're like, okay, this is weird, but it's been happening more and more frequently. This is my third paycheck that hasn't gone through.
Kim is a nurse for the Foundation for Positively Kids, which provides care for special needs children and also provides care to kids in Clark County Child Haven. It's where Kim has worked directly for 10 years.
It's a fantastic place. It can be hard at times and emotionally difficult to work there, but I feel like we're really helping those kids while they're there.
However, Kim isn't shy about confronting the management when checks are returned.
We're going to get funds from Medicaid on Tuesday. We get funds from the county. They're late paying us. We just don't trust anything that they say anymore. I tried to cash the check again today because it's Tuesday, not enough funds.
Foundation for Positively Kids is a nonprofit and receives funding from various sources. News 3 learned Clark County pays the group $800,000 and $800,000 a year, and a spokesperson tells me they haven't missed a payment. So why aren't employees like Kim being paid? I left several voicemails for the nonprofit CEO, Fred Schultz, who developed the company in 1999, but I haven't heard back. However, he is being investigated by the State Labor Commission. They sent News 3 a statement explaining they received 26 complaints related to unpaid wages filed against the Foundation for Positive Kids since December 2022. I'm told the majority of those claims have been closed because the employer was able to reissue valid payment. But there are still claims open that have been filed more recently that are being investigated.
Every single time our checks would bounce, the CEO happened to be out of the country. So we kind of figure that can't be a coincidence that our checks are bouncing and he happens to be in Budapest, or I think right now he's in UK.
And the State Labor Board says that they don't have the authority to shut down any business, but can fine them up to $5,000 for repeat violations. And what if this happens to you at your workplace? Well, the Labor Board urges you to report it to them. You can file a complaint on their website so they can continue to hold businesses accountable. And remember, it is illegal to write bad checks in the state of Nevada. The district attorney's office does have a division dedicated to investigating that. It is called the Bad Check Division. We'll include all that information on our website, news3lv.com.
Just click below and subscribe to News 3. You'll get more stories that affect your community.